Hello guys, full time at St Mary's Stadium. Arsenal have beaten Southampton 3-1. A really good victory, a really positive victory, and one I guess which will make Mikel Arteta feel somewhat vindicated about his decision to rotate heavily for the FA Cup tie. I think that can still be debated depending on how you weigh the cup against the Premier League. But this was a really good Arsenal performance against a strong Southampton side, albeit one who's run into a bit of difficulty in terms of recent form. And Arsenal coped without some key players. I mean, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was absent again for personal reasons. Kieran Tierney with a fitness problem. So I think the fact that Arsenal managed to play as well as they did without those personnel, particularly Tierney, who's been so instrumental recently, is really encouraging. In terms of the starting lineup, Cedric played at left back, and I thought made a very good job of it. I mean, can't say anything else. Those diagonal balls from left back were instrumental in the way we attacked on the night, instrumental in that third goal for Lacazette. He had his best game in an Arsenal shirt, I thought, Cedric. Nicola Pepe was in as well, ahead of Martinelli as the left-sided attacker, although he and Saka did swap a little bit. I do think there's something in that left-sided role for Pepe. Not in the long term, I think clearly he's better on the right, but I think something about playing on that side almost forces him to simplify his game. The temptation to constantly cut back inside isn't always there, and I think it leads to a slightly more streamlined performance from him. I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think it's his position. I don't think it's where he's going to be in the long term, but I think he can play a role there, and he can play it quite effectively. Part of the reason he's doing that is because Bukayo Saka's just been so brilliant on the right-hand side, and what can you say about his contribution tonight? I mean, two brilliant moments, both off his weaker foot. The first, he takes it around the goalkeeper, slots home from a good distance, got good power on it, good finish, and then that first time cross off his right foot for Lacazette. What can you say? I mean, he's just pure class, and I think he is Arsenal's best player at the moment, and wherever he plays, but particularly on that right-hand side, he looks so good. In central midfield, we benefited from having Thomas Partey back in the starting 11. Granit Xhaka had another good game alongside him. Good assist for Pepe. Should have had another one really, playing in Lacazette early on, who should have scored. He did get his goal in the end, Lacazette, and I do think he deserved it. Worked very hard. Like I say, a really positive night, and a couple of players in Cedric and Pepe have been maligned, both fairly and unfairly, I think, in their time as Arsenal players, having really good evenings, really positive. So I'm really pleased for them in that regard. That we are a different side with Partey and with Saka in. It makes a massive difference. Big game at the weekend coming up against Manchester United. Some big calls to be made depending on who's available. Will Tierney be there to come back in? I hope so. Will Aubameyang again? I hope so. But we wait and see. I mean, that with United sort of in the title race, as much as I hate to say it, it does add something to that fixture, and Arsenal will be desperate to take something off them and ideally beat them. But it's a good run we're on in the Premier League. We've climbed up the table. We've played a few more games than some of the teams around us, sure. But it's much healthier as a league position, and I was really impressed at the work rate of the Arsenal team, the physicality they showed against a really organised, really effective, really hard-working Southampton team. So, all in all, a good evening's work, and I'll speak to you all soon at the weekend. Cheers.